Hello again everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's time for the next part in the countdown to the games included on the A1200, and today we're talking about Ruff and Tumble, which is a game again I've not played. It's a platformer. I didn't used to play many platformers back in the day. It was released in 1994 and published by Renegade, which we talked about last episode. They did Turrican 3, and developed by Wunderkind. I'm familiar with them, so there you go. But looks like they made a good game because it got very good reviews. I'm sure that, you know, people that were into platform games more than me probably got quite a lot out of this game, to be fair, judging by the way it looks. The review I've got is from Amiga format. It's not exactly the clearest review on my screen to read, so I'll do my best, but again, I will stumble through it most probably, but the edit will help out. So yeah, it means you don't have to listen to it. I had to pick and choose my moments today as well, because the downside to living in the council property is they come out whenever they feel like it and start drilling on your wall. And for the last 3 days, that's been what's happening. So well behind, because, you know, I've wanted to record for days. I just haven't been able to with the noise going on. By the time we get to the evening, I've got a life, you know. I talk to my girl after 6 o'clock and really don't have a lot of time for much else in the evenings. So I try to get these done during the day if I can, but if they won't let me do it, they won't let me do it. So unfortunately these things happen. So I do apologise for the delays. I'm behind on everything now. I was well ahead. I had episodes of Hitman and Resident Evil and everything all backed up, ready to go, and now I've got nothing. I think I've got one Resident Evil ready to go. So I've got to start recording on everything, but it is what it is. I prefer to have a life, you know, than have all this free time to record. So, and when I've recorded before, I guess I've had a lot of free time. There you go. Anyway, we're going to get on with this review from Amiga format, as I said, and let's read it. Dr. Destiny and his Tin Head Army is quite possibly the finest name ever for an early 80s heavy metal band who work part-time for Barnsley Gas Board, okay, if you say so. They spend their days fitting pipes, jam during the evenings, and play a regular Friday night gig at the Greasy Sheep in Mansfield. This guy's on drugs, clearly, and you could base a great platform game around them. They could wander between levels picking up choice instruments and warm pints of Skagley's Bitter, and at the end of each level they could tackle a terrifying boss, perhaps an incarnation of Tony Hadley from Spandau Ballet, or even Duran Duran's Simon Le Bon. Secret levels could revolve around completing the central heating at the end of the terrace house in Dewsbury, while attempting to deflect the attentions of evil Mrs. Higginbottom and her devil's own ham sarnies. I mean, this guy is on another planet with this review so far. What the hell? Unfortunately, Dr. Destiny and his Tin Head Army are not a heavy metal band from Barnsley, nor do they labour at the West Riding Gas Board. No sir, they are an evil force who inhabit a fantasy world, a world where a youngster named Ruff has lost his marbles, you can talk, a world where Kerrang is not even on general sale. Ruff and Tumble ignores the world of heavy rock, concentrating instead on the platform come shoot 'em up genre of computer games. And why not? Details, details. 4 worlds, each with 4 levels, but you don't need to know that really. You want to know whether it's worth buying, whether it's different to the plethora of platformers currently doing the rounds. Good news, it ain't half bad. Ruff and Tumble takes on board everything you already know about the genre and adds a small, rough blonde kid with a gun that could have made it to the Middle East had it been shipped in pieces and called a pipeline. Maybe the Barnsley gasfitters could assemble it. Suffice to say, the kid's lost his marbles, but he's fully equipped to get them back. You don't jump on fiends in this game, you offload a couple of rounds into their midriff. There are no great secrets to Ruff and Tumble. You collect the pickups and shoot the enemy, but where the game stands up is in both the design and the application. The levels are nicely arranged and a pictorial treat. You're never left hanging on a ledge on a wing and a prayer, and the baddies, although tough to tackle, are all executable. Indeed, the execution is in the execution. Get in the right place at the right time and the blighters drop. By holding down the fire button, manoeuvring the joystick, you can fire in 8 directions, and although sometimes fiddly, it works a treat. Ruff and Tumble is best played with caution, sneaking along, picking off Dr. Destiny's balmy army, but collect the right pickups at the right time and you can run and blast like Rambo on aspirins. There are the usual end of level bosses and secret rooms, but heavens, they've all got them nowadays. No, where Ruff and Tumble works is in basic, good to honest playability. It can be frustrating, but hey, you pay £25 for a game and you don't want to sail straight into the sunset, do you? And that was reviewed by Stephen Bradley, who clearly needs help. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, he needed help. Maybe not these days, maybe he's fine, but that was an odd review to say the least. We've got details of the game up top here. It cost $24.99 when it was out. Released out now, well yeah, 32 years ago it was out. Graphics, we have 8. Lovely animation, super smooth scrolling and varied interesting worlds. Sound, we have 7. Thumping backbeats will find favour, but it's nice to have the option to turn off the racket. Obviously not a fan then. Addiction, the blast 'em up action ensures you won't tire easily of hopping around the levels, and that got 8 out of 10. And playability also also 8 out of 10. Outrageously frustrating, Ruff and Tumble will satisfy fans of the genre to a T. Verdict: a classy platform shoot 'em up. Ruff and Tumble cleverly combines the skills of jump and move with some great blasting action. Not wildly original, but smooth and playable. 87%. As always, let me know in the comments if you've played it before. I haven't, because platform gamers were not my thing, but it certainly looks a good one. Yeah, I could definitely see this being at home on like a Super Nintendo or something. I don't know if they brought out a version for that. They probably did. There were a lot of platformers on that medium back that time, weren't there? So I wouldn't be surprised if it got releases on other formats, but that I couldn't swear to because I don't really know much about the game. This is one of the games that I hadn't really heard of on the list, the original list of games. Folks at Lemon Amiga also agree because they give it 8.63 out of 10. Folks on Lemon Amiga also agree because they gave it 8.63 out of 10, so obviously round that up to 87% overall, so same review. Let's pick out a few. Oh yes, Ruff and Tumble, the stuff of legends. How did they pull this one off? I remember being stunned by awesome graphics. Thank heavens this game not only looks great, but it's also such fun to play. The finest hour of Amiga's platformers, one might say. Okay, so there you go. Next review says, this is one of the best platform games that were ever made, and if you think well, it's not even an AGA game. So this is the best example of a very well made game for the Amiga. I think this guy commented on the last video, Pigpen. I'm sure I remember reading his name out. Really good looking game, showing what the Amiga could do when someone cared to try. Pretty hard, but not in a bad way, and I keep going back for more punishment. Helps to play with a multiple button controller so you can aim better. Good tip. We will be able to do that now, won't we? And this guy gave it 10 out of 10. Easily one of the best platformers on the system. Graphics and audio are 10 out of 10, as is the level and sprite design. Just brilliant. So there we have it. I don't really know much about it, as I keep saying, but it sounds like a lot of people like this game. So again, it's probably me just missing out because these were not my genre of game. You know, I said that with the Turrican games, although obviously there's a lot more to the Turrican game, I guess, in terms of like it just being a platformer. Essentially, it boils down to being a platformer, doesn't it? And they were not the things I was interested in playing back then, so that's why they passed me by. Like I said to you before, nobody can play every game. The Amiga had thousands of games, so it's just impossible that you could have played every game, and this is one that escaped me, but I look forward to playing it now, and I think that's great. I like the fact that there's a lot of games on this system that I like, of course, but I also like the fact that there are games on here that are rated well that I don't know, because then it means I can get to know them now. They may still not be my thing, who knows, but when I say I didn't like platformers, and Mario came along and changed a lot of it for me when I got it on the Game Boy in the early 90s, you know, I did get into them at some point, but just I don't think they've ever been my favourite genre of game, to be honest. Platformers and beat 'em ups, which are very like popular games, were never really my types, so that's why a lot of these games I missed out on. I've also redone the list now, obviously, and added all the other games in. Next was supposed to be Settlers 2, and that would have been it, and then we would have maybe done Rocket Ranger, and it came from the desert because, you know, we had pictures of them on the box, so we kind of knew they were coming. But I've moved Settlers way down the list because we don't have magazine reviews for it. It's the last game actually we're going to talk about in this countdown. Same for Reshoot 3 Proxima, because they're both new games, so I thought we'd save them till the end as they're the newer ones, and we'll talk about the classics first. So next up now is going to be Rocket Ranger. Now it'll be part 9, and we'll talk about that next. And the next few games on this list I can actually talk about from a personal point of view, because I played probably the majority of the next 10 or 12 games that we're going to talk about. So there is a couple on there that I haven't played, but for the most part I've got a little bit more experience in the games that are coming up. So not that that counts for much, because let's face it, I don't know that much. You know, I could just put my personal input in at least. It's not like I can give advice or anything. Okay, thanks a lot everybody for watching, and thanks for your continued support. I'm getting some very nice comments. I really do appreciate it. I know we're all a bit frustrated with the delay, but most people seem to be very positive about the fact that they want it to be right. And also there's a lot of positive spin coming out, people saying that it's coming out for Christmas now, so they can get it as a Christmas present, and it's going to be wrapped up under their Christmas tree. And it does add a little bit of nostalgia, doesn't it? Because a lot of us back then, we were kids, we'd get them for Christmas, wouldn't we? And they'd be under the tree. So I really agree with that as a philosophy. Me myself, I'm just going to be buying it for me, so in that sense I'm a bit disappointed. But I can understand if you're, you know, a family man or family woman, and you can ask your other half for this for a Christmas gift, and it can be sitting under the Christmas tree. That would be an amazing thing. Me personally, I'm on my own, so you know, I'm gonna buy it for myself no matter what. But yeah, I can certainly see that as an appeal. So, and it's good that most people are positive, and there's a few people that have said, oh, I'm cancelling my pre-order, but you get that, don't you? And then everybody's entitled to make that decision if that's what they want to do. I think for the most part people are understanding, so that's a good thing. All right everybody, thanks a lot, and I will see you on the next one. I'll try not to leave it as long. Part 9 next, Rocket Ranger. Take care everybody, bye for now.